Hey there, everybody. This is Kyle Kinsler, and this is Chad Brown. We're with the Kinsler Brown Companies here today as a real CFO. This is something that's new to us. So today we're going to do a little Q&A session here, and we would like to be able to bring this like each and every week to you. So if you have questions that you might have for us, and whatever it may be, if it's finances or operating your businesses or whatever it may be. Chad and I, we've been in business together for about 10, 11 years now altogether, a formal partnership in the last 7 or 8 years, and just kind of always growing. And we see each other that are growing each and every day. So hopefully this is something that we can work with you, and just kind of let us know what topics you'd like to talk about, what's relevant at that time, and we'll do the best you can. So here's Chad Brown. And how's your week going, Chad?
It's good, man. It's good. It's exciting, a lot going on this time of year. As always, being in the tax and accounting business, everybody kind of waits till the last couple of months to do really any planning. But no, I'm excited about doing this every week, kind of a Q&A, because as business owners, we transition. We go through different stages or seasons, I guess, within the business, and it's always good to have open conversation and dialogue and back and forth with others in like situations, right? Always maybe struggling, going through tough seasons, that sort of thing. Maybe we can shed some light on, give some value out there. And one of the things that we've really been focused on this week and thought it'd be relevant to talk about is really our engagement, more networking, involvement in the community. Right. I know you've been doing a lot of things the last month and a half, 2 months to really get involved. Tell people kind of, the power of you being out in the community, shaking hands, getting to know people and networking.
Right. I'm probably a person that you can consider a situational extrovert, because I'm really not an extrovert by trade. So it's something that doesn't come natural for me, but I can do it if I need to do it. And oftentimes I think a lot of people, they get stuck with inside their comfort zone, and be able to go out. I think most people, they would not know about that about me, but I am actually an introvert. Like I said, very situational. Looking at getting out there, doing networking, those types of things, been really more involved in the last 3 years, just starting out with little networking groups that there may be there. And it just seems like it's so hard to do to start with, because it's just like you're trudging water all the time, and it's a slow process. And now I just kind of thought before this little thing that we're having here, right now, is that just in the last week, how many connections and how many groups that have been associated with, because what will start happening is that things, they just start to snowball. And then you look back and you say, how did that happen? How did I get to be part of that event? And how did we get that lead? Or how did that sale become? How did we get this new marketing person that we just hired here? Where did she come from? It all kind of starts to snowball, and then it really kind of starts picking up the pace, whatever it may be. So I guess that's something to be aware of. Starting out, when you start doing the networking, it's not going to be an immediate response, and it's just something you need to be persistent at. Don't give up. When you do go to meetings or social gatherings or charitable events or whatever it may be, what we used to do sometimes, Chad, is that oftentimes we'd send our employees out to go and do it. And then after about 9 months, we would ask, what's going on, or and I think what happens oftentimes is that we lose that intentionality. So you have to be very intentional. Yeah, we all want to be friends, right? And we like each other or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, we need to be going to the networking events to kind of build up our base. And then, those friendships, they come right along with it. Now, Chad, you do something a little bit more different. You oftentimes you're kind of more of an online networking type of thing. You want to kind of go into that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. As we get more entwined in our business and in the operations, and we're growing and scaling, it's difficult sometimes to step away from the office and drive across town to go to the networking events, to shake hands, to kiss babies. That doesn't limit its importance, but it's just reality. And as business owners, we tend to, if we're not doing that, we're just buried in the work. We don't find other avenues to network. So over the last several years, probably 3 or 4 really intentionally, I've gotten involved in online mastermind groups. It's an investment, it's a cost, but I equate it to me taking an hour and driving across town to a meeting, or then taking an hour and getting back and then lost productivity. It's really pretty much the same thing. So the cost, don't allow that to be a barrier to it. And in those communities, you're really dealing with a lot of like-minded individuals that go through things just like you do. In fact, I was on a call last night in a group I'm in, RBO Mastermind, ran by Trevor Cowley, great guy, out of St. George, Utah. And I was on with a guy from Canada, a couple from Utah, guy from Nashville, Tennessee, and we chopped it up for about an hour, like sharing our wins, our losses. One thing I've shared the last couple of weeks with these folks is different campaigns we're running and marketing strategies. We're kind of old school, like Kyle said, is intentional, going out there, shaking hands, kissing babies. I've kind of transitioned to the online networking to a lot, but this digital age, we always try to just send out emails or text and sell and get leads, and that's okay. It does work, generate leads, but I found that conversing and communicating, whether it be face-to-face or via Teams meeting or in accountability groups, gives more value to you than just simple SEO and all that stuff. Making it real life,
Right.
kind of. And
because we've gone down that SEO road before, and it's just it seems so superficial.
Well, you build up your hopes and you work on a campaign for a month and a half, and you blast it out. And I'm not saying that doesn't work. It does. It entirely does. But we still have to be conversational. We have to engage with people, and it's a know, like, trust thing. So whether you're doing it online or in person, it's building that rapport with somebody else, whether they're across the table or they're across the border, right? I mean, it's building those relationships. So, we get that a lot. How do you go from, really building your business, getting entwined in it, but continuing to build those relationships as you go? And I think for me, being kind of in the operations and day-to-day work is, you got to do it online and find time that's convenient and fits your schedule.
And it's different for everybody. Like Chad, he's more on, like I said, he's more on the online. I'm more the person that goes out in the community type of thing. I have a difficult time sitting in the office, and I know I've done so much of it that it's not where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not real comfortable going out and doing networking events, but hey, you can put your hat on for a little while and go out there and do what you need to do. And like I said, they just kind of start to snowball. In fact, I know I've got an event tonight. It's just somebody that I met on the golf course, 3 months ago. I was just thinking back, like, where in the world did that come from, or whatever it may be. So yeah, like my wife and my kids, we're going to a car show tonight, at a charitable event. And you know what? A lot of people that I know, there's going to be a lot of people there that I've seen in the last 6 months, all throughout the summer, that type of thing. And you just start to get to where you're in front of people, you start to build those relationships. You start to like them, they like us, or whatever it may be. And it's just like, and after a while, it's just like, maybe we should do some business together, what it may be. And it makes perfectly good sense. It's just because it's hard oftentimes to do business, especially when you're doing something like taking care of somebody's real estate or their taxes or whatever it is. It's hard to take a name out of a hat or just look online and get Google reviews and say, I'm going to patronize that company, when you really don't have a background. But when you really get out there and you get to know, like, and trust individuals, it really goes a long ways. And I would encourage each and every person that's out there to try it. If you haven't, maybe you've got enough business as it is in the business that you're in. But if you need to grow your business or whatever it may be, there's networking events out there, just on roundtable networking groups. Also, there's like-kind groups, networking. Also, one thing most people they forget about is that there's like you're gonna Facebook groups or whatever it may be. Those are I was just at one here last Thursday night. It was a real estate investment one, and there again, a lot of like-minded people were in that particular group.
Yeah.
I picked up a lot of good friends. People were going to be going out and doing lunch and following up or whatever it may be, because they have needs, we have needs, and it's just so great to collaborate that way. So
Yeah. One of the tough things that, in my experience growing up, because I used to go to networking events all over town, and you run into a lot of the same folks, a lot of investment advisors, bankers, that sort of thing. And, as I look back on it, for years I did that. I had no intent, right? I would just go shake hands, have a free drink, right? Or two or three, or at one point in my life, maybe more than that. But if you're going to go to networking, just like if you're going to spend dollars on a software, or dollars on something for your business, what's the ROI? And you have to be intentional when you go in and spend that dollar, because you want something out of it. You don't just randomly, well, if you do, you're going to run into trouble, randomly spend and just hope for the best. So having intent, what am I going to get from going to this event? Who am I going to talk to? How many cards am I going to get? When I get those cards, what's my next step? How am I going to follow up? How am I going to do this? Same with online, right? If you share a post and you put some valuable information out there and somebody engages with that, what's that next step to curate that relationship? So many times I see folks just trying to sell, and the old adage that givers gain is so true when it comes to networking. Think about others. What are you giving them? How much value are you delivering? And I guarantee you, if you deliver value, that value will be reciprocated 10x, just simply by not wanting anything and just from your heart helping someone else. It returns tenfold.
Yeah, it's like when I get on LinkedIn or whatever it may be. I mean, I don't mind LinkedIn. I mean, it's a good tool or whatever, but it kind of drives you nuts when the very first conversation that you have with them is that they want something. To me, that's kind of a turn on. So turn on. But I mean, if you go to a networking event, I was asking, like Chad said, what is it that I can do for you? Where are your problems that you're having in your business? And it's not always about sales. It can be internally. It might be an employee situation. It might be their culture or whatever it is. There's things that we can talk about. And it's just like, and we all have so much knowledge that's in there, so if you're in a room of 20 people and they've got 10 years on average experience, there's a lot of experience that's in that room. Use it and use it to your advantage, build those networks. And we just had one event a couple of days ago. We had a Coffee and Contacts here in Council Bluffs, Iowa. And I think just the whole group and the networking group, we were very intentional about doing a community outreach, just doing the things the right way and really building it up, and it created a lot of momentum for that event. And it was a huge success. And then what come out of there, we met a half dozen other new people that, and they're going to be new people that come into the group, I'm certain as well, so yeah. But anything else, or are we?
No, I just say, remember that's a key component is when you enter those situations, be intentional and be ready to give, to receive.
Sure.
So,
all right.
Next week, we'll hit up another topic. Hope you guys got some value out of this, and we'll tune in next week. We'll share it,
right.
Links, whatever. However that technology piece works, we'll get it done.
If you have a topic that you would like to discuss, Chad and I, we'd be happy to go into that there for you, or do the very best that we can, and share that with everybody. So go ahead and like this or whatever it may be. If you liked what you saw here, share it with your friends. And otherwise, we'll see you next week. See you later.